One of the questions that I get asked a lot, and talking to my finisher friends, that they get asked a lot too, is if you need extra rows. So I took a look at my stash and I thought it would be fun to just point out some projects where you need extra rows or not. So let's get started. First of all, a round. So as you can imagine, the cording for a round goes right up next to the design itself. So it's likely that you won't see some of these stars on the very perimeter. So if you're going to do like a bead or an embellishment, those might get hidden a little bit in the curve towards the cording element, but you do not need extra rows typically on a round unless you want some of that design showing. So if I wanted that bead showing, for example, if I beaded that, then I would suggest doing 2 extra rows around the edge. This guy. So anything like in here, the finisher can't get to, obviously. So if you don't stitch that, it's going to show white canvas. So here I would do probably like an extra row or 2 and like stop right at this corner and kind of like shape it all the way out. These corners technically you could get 2, but I think it would look best with like an extra row or 2. This one, this could get finished, but when you're doing the finishing, this edge would probably get a little, I don't know, smushed in, I guess. You would lose the definition between the car and the wheel. So for this, I would suggest doing an extra row or 2, just so you could see all this cool detail on the wheel against the cording. This house, I would suggest doing an extra row here. Like these points could get a little lost with the cording. And if you added an extra row, then you'd be able to see the color definition between the dark blue and the light blue. This stork. So if someone sent this to me without a background on it, there's no way a finisher could finish these legs without stitching around this. So what I would do is probably do a little shadow stitch around the whole thing if you wanted a special shape of like maybe, you know, even like 4 or 5 rows around the whole thing just to get it nicely defined. Spellbound Stitchery has a good guide on TikTok of how to do that. 3D shapes, never ever put a extra row on the 3D shape because you need to get into this corner in order for it to look like a nice 3D shape. The way that it's designed is the way that it should be stitched. Crayons, I would say you need to stitch like here. You could probably get in here, it wouldn't look very good. So I would say probably straighten this off so you can get like a nice finish around the sides. When I stitched this, I did a little bit of a rounded top with like an extra green line up top. It looked really cute to look a little bit more like a crayon box. And then this one, you need extra rows around all of the stamp so you can see that detail. So when I stitch these, I do 2 extra rows out. I hope this is helpful.